Hello everyone, my name is Fred, and in this video, I'll talk about my new Stylized Fabric Generator for Substance Painter. This generator is designed to create stylized fabric and has many settings for generating patterns. Now you won't have to spend a lot of time searching for alphas, designs, and creating unique fabric textures. This generator will simplify the texturing process and optimize your work time. For this video, I've prepared several stylized models. Let's start with generating the fabric texture itself, using this cute pillow as an example. Don't pay attention to these layers. I've marked them in red on purpose because they're just textures for stitches and brushes. Okay, I just drag FT cloth onto our model and first turn off the patterns because they can be a bit distracting. We'll definitely come back to them later. The generator's attributes contain the main information about the tool, and in channel mapping, you'll find the main channels used in this generator. We're interested in the main parameters of the generator, and the first section called Fabric is dedicated to generating the fabric texture itself. Let's start in order. The first parameter, Trade Tailing, allows you to tile the thread texture. With it, you can control the texture's detail during texturing. The next parameter, Trade Rows, is responsible for generating rows of threads and increases the fabric's density. With the next two parameters, Size, Weight, and Height, you can adjust the size of the thread texture to create your unique fabric pattern, and with the Rotation parameter, you can rotate the design 360 degrees to achieve the desired results. The Blur parameter blurs the edges of the threads so you can control the overall contrast of the texture. The last three Warp parameters affect the deformation of the threads and add more unpredictable results to the generation, allowing you to create truly unique fabric for your specific tasks. All these parameters are interconnected, and you can make more precise adjustments to the fabric texture in real time and get cool results. For example, I managed to create this cool texture, similar to knitted fabric, in just a few seconds. At the very top of the fabric section, there's a checker pattern parameter that switches the mode to manual thread adjustment. The parameter names remain the same, but the logic principles have changed. In this mode, you can more precisely adjust the size, position, and deformation of your threads. You could say that checker pattern is an advanced mode for creating unique textures, giving you a huge variety of settings. Let me reset the settings to default and move on to the next section called Fabric Color. In the Fabric Color section, there are parameters for adjusting the fabric texture's color. With the first slider, you can adjust the thread contrast and make them less noticeable. The Brightness parameter acts as a color inversion. With it, you can swap the shadow and light colors without going into the palette. The Highlight Level parameter is responsible for creating volume on the fabric texture and adds small highlights to the threads. With this parameter, you can adjust the degree of volume. Perhaps my favorite parameter in this generator is Value Randomize. It creates a worn fabric effect. Just move the slider to the right to enhance the aging and wear effect on the fabric texture. With this parameter, you can diversify your fabric and add some vintage styling to it. A very cool parameter, I really like it. I think you've already guessed that the last two parameters are responsible for color. The upper palette affects the shadow color, and the lower one affects the thread color. With these color parameters, you can create an overall color tone for your fabric. Now I want to reset the settings to default again and move on to the pattern section. This is where the most interesting part begins. In this section, we're greeted by several buttons that allow us to activate pattern generation on our model. Right now, I just want to apply FT Diffuse to the pillow to fill our model with color. The Pattern Only parameter allows you to generate absolutely any patterns without using the fabric texture. Basically, with this generator, you can create patterns not only for fabric but also for other materials. Let's turn off the Pattern Only parameter, and as you can see, another parameter called Pattern Override has appeared. It overrides the fabric and creates a printing effect on the fabric. I think you're familiar with this effect when there's a dense printed design on a t-shirt. With the Pattern Opacity parameter, you can adjust the transparency of your pattern. The pattern tiling parameter allows you to tile your pattern, and the rotation 90 button lets you rotate your generated design by 90 degrees. Let's open the pattern color section, and as the name suggests, this section adjusts the color for patterns. There are additional parameters like hue, saturation, and lightness, which allow you to color correct your patterns and add up to 6 different color shades. Let's add a few colors, and as you can see, nothing happens. The thing is, the color section is linked to the pattern settings. Let's go a bit lower and open it. The first parameter, crossed, allows you to add vertical lines to create various checkered patterns, and the stripes count parameter lets you increase the number of lines. And since we already have 4 colors, you can see that our pattern becomes multicolored. Now we can go to the color settings and change the shades. I hope you understand the logic, it's quite simple. The pattern line's thickness parameter allows you to control the thickness of the lines, making it easier for you to create custom effects and control the pattern's thickness. All these parameters are interconnected and create limitless space for experimentation and creativity. Now I want to go up to the pattern section and turn off the blend mode for the pattern to make it more visually clear what I'm doing. Let's go back to the pattern settings and enable the waves or zigzag parameter. It is responsible for the deformation of lines, but to make it work, you need to increase the pattern bend stretch value. This parameter allows you to control the degree of line bending. And with the pattern horizontal vertical count parameters, you can add additional lines on top and sides of your model. If you want your pattern to be symmetrical, set the same values in the vertical horizontal count parameters. To change the pattern scale, just go to the pattern section and increase the tiling. I'll repeat once more, this entire generator is a single unit, and to achieve specific tasks, you need to use all the parameter functionalities. But that's not all, and line settings are just the main function for generating simple patterns that are most often found on Fabric. To solve more creative tasks and generate non-standard patterns, there is a shape parameter in the pattern section. To demonstrate which, I want to change the model, but before that, I want to say that this stylized material is already available for purchase on all platforms: ArtStation, QBrush, and Flip Normal. And for the guys from the CIS, this product will be available in the IC community. I'll leave all the links in the description. Let's go back to the settings, and I've prepared these stylized fabric rolls for pattern demonstration. Let's go back to the pattern section and change the stripes mode to shape. And as you can see, the lines have been replaced with circles. In the color section, a new parameter called pattern event color has appeared, which allows you to randomize the color on the circles if you don't want them to be painted in a checkerboard pattern. Let's go to the pattern settings section, and now we can change the circles to a square or capsule. We'll get to the analysis of these shapes a bit later. The first parameter is shape specific. It changes the shape of the figure, but unfortunately, it doesn't work on circles. The pattern choker parameter adds unique settings for more detailed pattern generation. With the first 2 parameters, you can add circles horizontally and vertically to create specific effects. The shape offset parameter shifts the shapes, while shape scale allows you to control their size. Shape scale random reduces the shapes randomly, adding variety and uniqueness to your pattern. Let's turn off the pattern choker mode and return to the main pattern settings. The first 3 parameters are similar, so I won't focus on them. We're interested in this inner shape cutout button, which cuts a circle in the pattern that we can fully control. We can move and compress this circle along the X and Y axes within our shape, creating unique forms. For example, I've now created a crescent shape. The 3 lower warp parameters allow us to deform our shape and distort it to get an interesting form. By the way, now we've gotten rid of the perfect circle, let's check the rotation parameters. Shape rotation simply rotates all shapes in one direction, while the shape random rotation parameter allows for a unique design by automatically rotating shapes in different directions. And with the exclusion random parameter, you can automatically remove part of the pattern so it doesn't repeat in a checkerboard pattern. Now let's choose the square shape, and first, I'll reset the settings we've set. The parameters for all types of pattern shapes are the same, and the setup principle is similar. You can create highly unique patterns for specific tasks, from simple checkered designs to camouflage patterns. The settings of this generator allow you to control every stage of pattern generation. The square and capsule shapes allow you to get additional variations and customize them to your liking. Honestly, I haven't spent much time working with this tool yet, and these effects amaze me, while the numerous parameters offer limitless creative possibilities. Okay, now let's go to the very bottom of the generator and enable the pattern shape custom image parameter. This parameter allows you to add your custom alpha or image as a shape. I just placed my logo in this slot, and as you can see, it replaced the standard shape. All parameters and settings also apply to this alpha, and I can make unique adjustments for my custom pattern. Let's revert the settings to get something like circles and enable the shape cutout custom image parameter. And in the image slot, let's move, for example, this basic alpha from the Substance Painter library. Now, if we go to the inner shape cutout settings, we can get this cool effect and also adjust the position of the image within the base shape. I completely forgot to mention that this generator has settings for PBR texturing. And it has separate parameters for adjusting roughness, height channel, and metallic. The basic sliders are simply for adjusting the gloss, height, and metallicity for the fabric texture and pattern. The top parameter allows you to change the value for the fabric texture, while the bottom one changes the pattern value. The settings for the height channel and metallic work in the same way. You can add gloss and change the texture type using two sliders, but that's not all, because these two sliders are quick settings, and as you can see, there are details parameters in these sections, which we'll return to now. Pay attention to the pattern mask roughness, height, and metallic section. In this section, you'll find two sliders that allow you to smooth the corners of our pattern and set a smoother transition. These functions will help you get rid of pixelated edges when generating patterns and create cool effects like stickers and printed prints on your fabric. Let's return to the roughness settings and press the roughness details button. As you can see, additional settings for roughness have appeared, which I call the advanced mode. With the first two sliders, you can also adjust the overall gloss for the pattern and fabric texture, while the next two parameters affect the roughness settings only for the fabric texture. You can adjust the strength and contrast of the gloss, and if desired, invert the gloss so that it is only in the recesses of the threads. There are also settings for the pattern, allowing you to make more precise adjustments separately if needed. Similarly, you can enable the so-called advanced tuning mode for the height and metallic channels, making this generator more powerful and versatile in use. This is really convenient because you have basic parameters for quick setup and an advanced mode for more precise and detailed material adjustments. This is truly a powerful generator, which took about 2.5 months to develop, with countless tests conducted to perfect the tool. My main idea is to create an ecosystem of FT materials, so when you purchase one, you can combine them to create well-crafted, high-quality, and stylized textures. I textured these models using FT diffuse in conjunction with the new FT cloth material to give the model volume and refine the fabric texture. I remind you that on my platforms, you can explore other FT materials and try the free FT material to ensure the quality of my products. With that, I'll be wrapping up the video. I wish you creative success and see you soon.